All right, good afternoon, Patriots. This is Jonathan Alexander with Live Border News. And today I've got a special guest, Mike Grant. He's with Guns Unlimited Firearms Training. And we're going to be discussing some letters that Mike received from Kamala Harris. And stay tuned, and we'll be here live here in 1 minute.
Ain't nothing but a simple man. Call me a redneck, I reckon that I am, but there's things going on that make me mad to the core. I gotta work like a dog to make ends meet. Got crooked politicians and crime in the street, and I'm madder than hell, and I ain't gonna take it no more. They tell our kids to just say no. A panty-waist judge lets a drug dealer go, slaps him on the wrist and turns him back out on the town. If I had my way with those selling dope, take a big tall tree and a short piece of rope, hang them up high, let them swing till the sun goes down. Hell, you know what's wrong with the world today? People done gone, put the Bibles away, living off the law of the jungle, not the law of the land. The good book says it, so I know it's true. It's an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You better watch where you're going. Remember where you've been. That's the way I see it. I'm a simple man. I'm the kind of guy that wouldn't harm a mouse. If I catch somebody breaking in my house, I gotta.
All right, we are back. And I'm going to bring Mike Grant into the studio. All right, good afternoon, Mike.
How you doing, Jonathan?
Good. We were discussing about some letters that you received that we're going to share with our viewing audience. Very disturbing what I've read. And this very much affects all of America. So I'm going to pretty much hand this over to you. I'm going to let you go into detail and explain to the public how this could very much affect them as well.
Well, thank you. I thought it was pretty important that, with Kamala Harris possibly going to be the Democratic nominee to run against Trump, that the public should hear about what's been going on in California all the way back to 2016 on the letter. And first of all, I'm a federal licensed gun dealer, been doing this for 47 years. And obviously in California, they're so far left, they're falling off the table as far as for guns. So all of us dealers out here have to be certified firearms instructors. So they had a breach. Kamala was in charge of the DOJ. She was the Attorney General, and they had a breach up there and gave out all the certified firearms instructors numbers, driver's license numbers, and everything like that. And as you read that letter, it pretty well states that they offered us Experian or Expedia or whatnot, one of those credit bureau companies. They gave us a year free. And she actually said that they doubt very much there was any issues with that. It's kind of funny because I did have some issues after that with people trying to steal my identity. That's a whole nother subject. But my concern is these people are, if she would get into the White House, we talk about the weaponization of the DOJ. I truly believe that there's a good chance that she would be doing the same thing with the public-private information of people that might be Republicans, might be gun owners, might be people that oppose her. And it's pretty scary when you got a letter like this from 2016 December, right after Trump was elected, that we had a major breach at the DOJ. So it kind of tells me just a little bit about her abilities as the Department of Justice running that operation up there, and her lack of, I call security, as well as being a law officer as the highest law officer in the state of California.
Well, what I'd like to do here, Mike, I want to present this letter so people can read it for themselves. And we're going to enlarge the screen, and hopefully they can see it. So hold on here a second. Okay, this is the first letter that we have. Gosh darn it. Sorry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and read this out loud. It says, Dear Mike John Grant, this letter is to inform you of a recent security incident at the Department of Justice, DOJ, on October 14, 2016. During the course of responding to a California Public Records Act for information pertaining to certified California firearm safety instructors, the department inadvertently released your name, date of birth, California driver's license number, and or California identification card number. The department discovered the data breach on October 17th of 2016 and notified the requester of the error and asked that the information be destroyed and that no further dissemination of it occur. If the information is not returned, the department will take legal action against the requester to ensure the information is destroyed. Well, first of all, we know how the government is about destroying items. And that's very concerning, Mike, what I've read so far. We have no reason to believe that your personal information has been misused. However, to protect yourself from the possibility of identity theft, we recommend that you place a fraud alert on your credit file. Since your California driver's license number or California identification card number was involved, we also recommend that you contact the Department of Motor Vehicles fraud hotline at 1-866-658-5738. And, 5758. We are doing what we are doing to protect your information. Okay, let's see. To help protect your identity, we are offering a complimentary 1-year membership of Experience Protect My ID Alert. The product helps detect possible misuse of your personal information and provide you with superior identity protection. Support focused on immediate identification and resolution of identity theft. So, Mike, I really do see your concern here. This should also not just concern you, but in my opinion, all of America. I mean, if this happens to you from these guys, how about all of us guys that go out and get a background check to receive a firearm? How many of us has this happened to as well?
Well, what alarms me about this, Jonathan, is that you look at the dates here. October 14th, and they discovered it on October 17th, 2016. But it took over 2 months from October 17th to notify me on a letter on December 28th, 2016, after the last election or the first election for Trump. I'm not going to get into conspiracy thinking, but I start looking at this kind of stuff and I start questioning what's going on here. Did she know? You know that they got voter registration. They know you're a Republican. They know what out here. They know exactly what every person that votes in the state, if they're a D or an R. And here we got this going on with her pulling this stuff off and then not notifying, like throwing that out on the World Wide Web possibly. And then December 28, 2016, after the election, she notifies me and many other certified California firearm safety instructors about this. So it just stinks that somebody running these places could have a breach that long that would take 2 months to notify the people that there. Why didn't she notify us back in October?
Exactly. So before I shrink the screen so that we can share the other letter, Mike, for the viewing audience out there, I'd like to ask that you guys share this everywhere. Get this out all across the country of what's happened to our federal firearms dealers. If it happened to Mike, I'm sure it happened to a whole lot of you, Mike.
Yep.
So I'm asking you guys, take a screenshot of that and this broadcast and share this everywhere. So the proof is right here. This is a letter right here from Kamala Harris, and this is important. So I'll give you guys a second to screenshot that if you choose to, and then we're going to flip on to the next one.
The other thing, that vital information on those driver's license, they have a scan on a strip on the back of those licenses. And if they had that number, I don't know. I mean, you never thought that your credit cards could get, breached with that little fancy little ID or little card on the front of it. But they've already, the criminals already have figured that one out. So you're having all these credit cards. Well, why haven't they probably figured out these driver's licenses to pull your information off? Obviously, they have your address. So what they just did is, most of us are dealers. You have to be a dealer to be a certified California fire safety instructor. And you turn around and think about it. These people got your address now. Who says that they can't come right to your house and do an armed robbery or a home invasion? That's one of the big concerns that I've always had about this information all the way back to 2016. Luckily, I haven't had any issues.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree with you anymore, Mike. This is very concerning. I mean, just reading this, Mike, really ticks the hell out of me. I mean, this tells me right there that your information now is out there. I would definitely monitor your credit as much as you can, your driver's license. I mean, God only knows how many times we've seen the government websites be hacked.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and exit this full screen. And let's go to the next one. So we'll remove this. All right. And then I'd like you to explain to the audience about this letter here, Mike.
Okay, so now we fast forward to July 8th of 2022. Rob Bonta is the Attorney General for the state of California. Now, I might have my numbers messed up a little bit, but I do believe that he replaced Kamala when she became the senator for California and moved on to the next level. When she got appointed, and then she ran, I believe, and got elected to the Senate. What this letter has to do with now is, again, another breach. And they put out our granted concealed weapon permits between the years of 2011 to 2021, and disclosed, with an update of all the firearms on the dashboard, the portal. So all our information, and you can imagine how tough it is to get a concealed weapon permit in California, without DNA samples, is pretty tough. Now, this was back before the ruling in 23, I believe it was, the Bruin, to where they had to start issuing. There was only in Alameda County, which I live in, there was only 162, 164 concealed weapon permits in about a 3 million population county. It was pretty tough because you had to have a reason. So that information got released by him, and he's the replacement for Kamala. And it starts me wondering, and I'll go off on a conspiracy here a little bit because there's people talking about this. If she would get elected, I think you're looking at the next attorney general, and maybe even Newsom right behind him in some other job category. So here we got the three top people of California involved in the, as I call them, the gun hater situation, but they released all this information on many people. And again, they offered us that free credit lock stuff, for a year. I took them up on it this time. I got the life lock, and it pretty well alerts me to all this kind of stuff. So I'll turn it back to you, Jonathan. It's just kind of connecting the dots here is crazy.
So I'm going to go ahead and read this letter out to these guys as well. Let's see if I can make it a little larger. This letter is to inform you of a recent security incident that involved an unauthorized release of your personal information by the California Department of Justice. Once again, the information primarily relates to individuals who were denied or granted a concealed carry weapons permit between 2011 and 2021, and was disclosed in connection with an update to our Firearms dashboard portal. While we are not aware of any actual or attempted misuse of your information, we are providing you with an overview of the incident, our ongoing response, and resources available to you right now to help protect your identity should you feel it appropriate to do so. What happened? As announced on June 29, 2022, personal information was disclosed on June 27th of 2022 in connection with the update of DOJ's Firearms dashboard portal. After DOJ learned of the portal exposure, the department took steps to remove the information from public view and shut down the Firearms dashboard. So in other words, what they're basically saying is the whole public got to see everything about you, right?
Yep.
Unbelievable. The dashboard and data were available for loss less than 24 hours. Well, let's see. How big's California, Mike?
Well, I think it's 34 million.
34 million people. They're saying 24 hours. I wonder how many millions of those people got access to your personal data.
Yep.
What information was involved, it says. As of the date of this letter, the information that we have determined was exposed includes full name, date of birth, address, gender, race, CCW license number, which is very concerning, California Information Index number, which is automatically generated during a fingerprint check for a CCW or for another purpose, and other government-issued identifiers. In some cases, exposed information may also include your driver's license number and internal codes corresponding to the statutory reason that a person is prohibited from possessing a firearm. Social security numbers or financial information were not disclosed as a result of this event, according to them. But, they've got your CCW number, they've got everything else. Who needs your social security number anyways? They've got all that to start with. My question, Mike, did you ever try going out to the state of California for this?
Well, now that you bring that up, California Rifle and Pistol Association filed a class action lawsuit. I don't know where we're at on it. People were supposed to sign up for it. I don't recall I even got it until it was too late, but there was so many people signed up for it that usually after they do win the lawsuit, they usually come back out asking anybody that was involved, which I would be, to sign on to it. I think we've all seen that from manufacturers, even though you didn't file a claim, but several hundreds and thousands signed up for it. And what's shocking about this, and it's not just the civilians or the normal person. They released all the information for ex-law enforcement people, all the judges, attorneys, anybody that had one. Their stuff was breached, like it said in there, from 2011 to 2021. So anybody that was in the state of California was on the wide world open Facebook web so that they could see all these attorneys and judges, everybody's address, you name it. They have it all, or they did have it all till they shut it down.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I believe it. I'm just,
Yeah. Well, I do too.
I mean, without sounding like a conspiracy, I want to say this sounds like these guys are tied together.
Well, it's too, I mean, think about it. You got one breach and then you got another breach. I mean, it's just, to me, and let's not forget one thing. Rob Bonta, it was behind this SB1 or SB2.
You want to say his last name again? I'm sorry.
Bonta, 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 Rob Bonta. So he was after the concealed weapon holders in the state after the Bruin decision came down from the Supreme Court. And he went after us with vengeance to where we were not supposed to be able to carry guns in any restaurants, any place. Literally, you were just going to be able to carry your gun in your vehicle, and you weren't been able to go into any stores, the churches. They were going to deny parks, forests, you name it. They were denying everything. Well, that got overturned by that portion of the law. But it's ironic that he's the one in charge of it, and then he goes after us because he didn't want to issue concealed weapon permits to all the other people because he said they were a risk of more guns were going to cause problems on the street. Well, let's talk about that just a second. First of all, who does the background checks on all firearms being sold and all concealed weapon holders that get it? The DOJ. So if that person that they're background checking is basically not up to their the psychological exam that you have to take in the state to have a concealed weapon permit or whatever, well, then you don't get the CCW. So why would you go after people that have already been vented and everything like that and make it harder and restricted on it? It's basically because he doesn't like guns, and you all hear about all these laws they got in California. It's just you gotta be a paralegal or an on-site attorney to keep up with every gun law that comes out. I can tell you that. But he's the guy that is in charge, and here we got SB2 pops out right back. Basically, it came out. It was supposed to go into effect July 1 or January 1 of 2024 because they popped it out in July of 23. So a year later, after this letter, he comes up with a bill because of Bruin and wants to make it harder for people that are qualified that didn't have to have that shall issue firm that they say they will issue that, or the may issue, I should say. It's called may issue. So you had to have a letter and have a legitimate reason to get a concealed weapon permit in California. So,
and Mike, not to interrupt, but what blows me away, I never seen a word one about this on Fox News, ABC News, NBC, CBS, CNN. You didn't see nothing about this anywhere.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, you and I being down at the border a few times or running into each other, that I thought it was important that I get this to you so you can get your audience out there. I wouldn't call educated, but informed of what might be to come if she possibly gets in as president and guys like this Rob Bonta or even Newsom get sucked into the pipeline in Washington, and we have to deal with those people.
Well, she gets in the president, I think she's going to breach every one of our information and then go after each and every one of us.
She's pretty well said that. We'll have to see how she handles it.
I mean, that's just my opinion on it, but that's what I see coming next. Boy, I'll tell you what, for the audience out there, I'm asking you guys to please screenshot this here as well. Get this shared out everywhere. Just the American people have got to see what's going on in our government.
If anybody knows any reporters out there that are at CNN or Fox, which CNN won't show it, but Fox or Newsmax, if you know any of these people, please get this out. Johnathon has a big following, I know, but man, we got to get this information out so that people realize it. And obviously the average person probably is not going to worry about it if they don't have a gun or they don't have a concealed weapon permit. But there's a lot of guns in this country and a lot of people that their Second Amendment is going to get violated, and that's only the start with her. She's going to.
Well, what I'll go ahead and do, Mike, I'm going to go ahead and get this over to Newsmax as well as Fox News.
Okay, good.
And we'll see what they want to do with it, whether they want to air it or not. That's on them. And we'll see if we can get you set up with an interview as well through those guys.
Okay.
But this is just unbelievable what I'm seeing here. I mean, and seeing it, I 100% believe it. It's right there before me. And, you know, just the risk that it puts you at now as well. And how many other people have your information, God only knows.
Here's what's funny. You know, we always talk about the southern border, you know, and now it's become that we're all border states across this country. Well, this is California's information right here. This kind of stuff being released on us. Well, how soon is it going to be till it's in the other states? If she or this Bonta get in, what will be next across the country? Arizona, Nevada, all these places will be up for any blue state could be releasing. Count the blue states. I don't have the number. They could hit the switch and release this stuff by accident, supposedly breaches, and all the other citizens across the country that are in the same boat I'm in will be exposed.
Exactly. Mike, I appreciate you coming on today. I'm looking forward to having you down at the border with me again. And we'll just keep hammering away at this, buddy. And we'll get this out there to all of America.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jonathan, for having me on. I appreciate it.
And again, if you guys didn't screenshot that, I'm going to give you guys 30 more seconds to get that screenshot. Get it shared out everywhere. I mean, let the American people know what's going on with our arms dealers. Just the average American, anybody that has a firearm, this kind of stuff right here can happen. Anything else you'd like to add to this, Mike?
Nope. I am going to put something out that to your viewers that, you know, there's a lot of things that we all take for granted. And I think that Jonathan has been busting his shorts pretty good for this, basically for this country. So, you know, it's a good idea to remember that a lot of these things that people do is on their, like me, I do a lot of things on my own nickel, but I'm not even running the show that Jonathan does. So, you know, I think you know, if you got anything that you can help somebody out on and help him, I think and this is from me, I think that it would be nice if everybody could just chip in just a little bit so that we can keep this going on with his broadcasting and also being on the border, keeping an eye on what's going on and keeping everybody informed. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Well, you know, Mike, I've been doing this for years on my own dime. I've got a few people that have contributed over this last year, which has been better than nothing. But at the same time, for me, it's all about God, family, and country. And that's where it's at. And as long as we can keep getting the news out to America, and as long as I can afford to do so, I'm going to continue this mission.
Good luck.
So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and exit this screen here. And then me and Mike's going to be planning a trip here soon back down to the border. And we'll be doing live broadcasts again from probably Sassafras, Arizona, as well as Yuma, Arizona coming up. And appreciate you coming down and working with us and our team as well, Mike. Thank you.
Not a problem.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to check real quick to make sure there wasn't any questions or anything. We'll keep you on for a second, Mike, in case somebody has a question for you. So if you guys got a question for Mike or any of us, feel free to fire away. It looks like my internet on my phone's freezing up. So I'm actually out here on Camp Navajo military base right now. Been out here for the last month. So it's kind of freezing up on me. we only have so much bandwidth here, so I can't really read the comments off my cell phone. Excuse me. And then, other than that, Mike, we'll be back
Okay.
live here shortly. Love to have you back on soon as well, and we'll go over some other issues.
Okay. We'll see you later, Jonathan. God
All right,
bless.
guys. Well, God bless all you guys out there. Appreciate you guys joining in. Please get this shared out all over Facebook. Let the American people see what the heck's going on in our country. So until then, God bless you guys. And if you guys would like to make a contribution, at the top of my page here, you will see a donate now link. And you guys are welcome to make a donation to Live Border News. Other than that, if you can't afford to do so, I understand. Appreciate your guys' support. All right, Mike, God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
All right, this is Jonathan Alexander reporting live with Live Border News.